Oh, well, instantly we have the Rebel Silhouette, selected poems by Faiz, translated by Agha Shahid Ali. What I love in this book is that it's two of my favorite poets. So Faiz, of course, doesn't need any introduction. Agha Shahid Ali was actually my teacher. And what is great about it is it has the original. So you have Faiz's poems, but you also then have Shahid's translations. And because Shahid was a really wonderful poet himself, the translations don't read like literal stilted translations. They are poems in themselves. A very different kind of book. The Pathan Anaamd by Mukhlika Banerjee. You know, I grew up with history as one of my favorite subjects. And I thought I knew quite a lot about the anti-colonial struggle and independence and all of that. But it wasn't until a friend of mine lent me this book that I realized that there was a whole piece of it that I didn't know and which were not really taught in schools in Karachi, which is the part to do with Abdul Ghaffar Khan and the Khudai Khidmatgar and what was going on in what was then the Northwest Frontier Province, now KP. But it's really good for anyone interested in history in the early 20th century. And in what was really going on in British India at the end of the colonial period. I'm a novelist, so my primary reading is novels. And here there's a wonderful selection of South Asian or South Asian origin writers. Let's pick one. Sanjeev Sahotha's The Year of the Runaways. This is an amazing book. Sanjeev Sahotha is a young writer, grew up in the north of England. And I remember reading this book and reading I mean, it's a big book, as you can see. And I was at a point in my life when I was reading quite thin books because I thought, you know, most fat novels seemed quite bloated. And this one I just raced through. Some people call it Dickensian. And the reason is it's got these really strong characters. It's got these wonderful stories that weave in and out. And now we're moving into the non-South Asian fiction section. Elena Ferrante, we have to have her. I mean, it's a quartet, so I could have booked any of the four, but this is the first one, My Brilliant Friend. A few years ago, these were the only books it seemed anyone was talking about, and it made me almost not want to read them, because when things are so overhyped, you think, really? And there were 4 novels, so it's a huge sort of commitment. But these are brilliant novels. Again, when I say they're like a soap opera, I mean that in a compliment, in the best sense of the word, that there's a huge cast of characters, and you follow them for years and years, decades of their lives. It's wonderful on female friendships. It's also really wonderful on what it means to grow up in violent societies, and how that violence affects every aspect of people's lives. Here's one of my very favorite writers, who there are quite a lot of books by, Ali Smith, How to Be Both. And How to Be Both is one of her finest novels. You know, the thing she does, which is rare, is she can do joy and optimism. And if you look at most sort of literary fiction, it's often about very serious subjects done very seriously. She writes about serious subjects, but she writes about them in a way that is joyful, it's full of humor, it's full of puns. And How to Be Both is one of the best examples of that. It was shortlisted for the Booker Prize. It won the Orange. It is just a work of genius. So go and read there are lots of Ali Smiths. Go and read all of them.